All of you have been asking me where is Professor Wajackoya, and I told you he's gonna be in studio, and he's right here. Before we speak to Prof, our tradition, we take you back in history. Okay, if you're ready with the history, we can take a look at the newspaper on the same day on the 20, what is the date today? Let me check that, 28th of August 2024. Now, this is back on the same day today, different day, but the headline intrigues: fueling fight over date of the next post. That was the bold newspaper then, and this is 9 years to the day today, and that was the headline about the next post. Everyone was expecting the 2017 election, so this was IEBC chair then, and the intrigues fueling the fight over the date of the next post. Remember, the constitution was not yet settled. It was not automatic August, but that is back in history, the bold newspaper, to the date and month 9 years ago. Let's come back to studio now, and Professor George Wajackoya is in studio. You know, when I told people you're coming, a lot of people are excited because it's been a while since you appeared on television. Kwani umekuwa umeenda happy?
I decided just to go silent.
Why?
And watch from the streets, demonstrations, maandamano.
Did you ever go to the streets?
I was the commander of Maandamano in Azimio.
So Azimio was in this Maandamano, it was in Gen Z?
The previous.
Or the previous Maandamano. Yes, you did a lot of things. You know, one of the things that my editor asked me today is, why is Wajackoya wearing a durag?
This is a question that dates back to the slavery period, where African Americans, and of course I'm married to one, that's how I came to learn about this, where African Americans came up with a tradition during the shipment of slaves to the West Coast, the East Coast, in the Atlantic, crossing the Atlantic. And those who were sick were thrown in the sea. But then what happened is, for their remembrance, their colleagues used to tear clothes and tie on their head.
Okay.
So that when they reached their destination, they would count how many of them had already lost their lives. Yeah. So it became a strategic move for the African Americans to remember. And that's why you see even during their games, they always remember the past by wearing durag, because they are still waiting for liberation. Okay. So I did adapt this because of the quagmire and the system in which we are today in this country. And unless we become very free, we are still enslaved by the West, we are enslaved by our own conscience, we are enslaved by our so-called leadership. And that's why I wear this. Okay.
Color significance, red, white?
Well, that is Roots Party.
Oh, Roots Party color. I almost missed that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you make of what happened yesterday? Were you first in the meeting today that was held by Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and a few Azimio leaders? I saw Eugene, I saw, I think I saw Jeremiah Kioni, and a few of them. Were you at that meeting today?
No, I wasn't, but I gave my excuse through Eugene Wamalwa because I was attending some things.
Oh, you were attending something?
Yes.
It's not that you're giving it a wide bath. It's not that you're not part of it.
Well, let us see how it goes.
Are you part of it?
Let us see how it goes.
It's a direct question. Are you still part of Azimio?
Let us see how consultations will lead.
Oh, they are consultations?
If at all there will be any.
Between the remaining members of Azimio?
Yes, we need to consult. We need not just to jump into a frying pan. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of business. We need to sit down. We need to find out what we want. We need to draw a map. We need to plan. We need to strategize. It's not just because this has happened, now we go this way. I don't work like that. That's why I opted to not to enter any coalition before the election.
Until you knew what was happening.
And I have not entered any coalition with anybody. I've just been a friend of the Azimio. We've never signed anywhere.
But you have been a very big supporter of Baba, especially in the previous Maandamano. Now that Baba is out of Azimio and out of local politics, which I want to ask you, do you believe Baba has the ability to stay out of local politics, Prof?
I do not know whether Baba is out of the local politics. As far as I'm concerned, well, I didn't hear that part. But if I had heard that part, I could have given you a different answer. What I know is that he has the majority in parliament. And he's a Kenyan. I have no moral authority to speak for him, but as far as I'm concerned, unless he tells me,
that is minimized his activities.
That he has minimized, then yeah, but I don't just go by hearsay.
No, he said it. We have it on camera. Baba saying he's limiting his activities in the local politics because he wants to concentrate on his bid for the Africa Union Commission chairperson.
Yes, if I was him, I would agree to that particular sentiment because he needs to plan, to strategize, to find out, of which I support him. I fully support Baba's position, if that was what he said, that we can actually find out what we can do to make sure that he gets the seat.
Jeremiah Kioni thinks that his support, William Ruto's support to Raila Odinga, is a setup to finish the opposition.
I cannot answer that because that's his own words. Those are his own words. I don't know what that means, and I cannot answer that question.
You've just become a wakili with me. Do you believe this is a setup to finish the opposition?
I have no idea. Those are words that you have told me about.
I'm asking you, do you believe opposition still stands strong?
Well, I'm in the opposition.
Yes.
I'm the leader of the Roots Party. I've always made myself very clear that we are going to check on the government in whichever way.
Part of the reason why it's important to understand where we're coming from is because straight after Baba announced that he's bidding for AU position, there's a lot of jostling. Is it true, if I would put it to you, that the reason why you are waiting for consultation is because there's a lot of jostling of who feels what in Azimio at this particular point?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm running for president. I'm a candidate in 2027. I'm very much concerned with the Roots Party, not what goes on with the other political parties. They have got their own issue. If they want to sit down and fight for the seat, well, let them fight and we meet at the ballot.
If they want to fight for leadership of Azimio.
Yeah, we meet
you
at
said
the
you were just a friend of Azimio.
Yes, I was just a friend.
How deeply entrenched are you in Azimio Party?
I was just a friend of Azimio, just like you are my friend. And I know you are a lawyer, you went to law school. And that's how I know you're my friend. But I cannot go into deeper and insensitive kind of description as to how I'm deeply in friendship with you. So I cannot say that I was deeply in Azimio.
Rooted in Azimio.
No, I'm deeply rooted in Roots Party and also charting the way forward for this country.
How big have you expanded the Roots Party since the election? I see you going around the country and doing a lot of activities. Is it just you popularizing already very popular figure in the country, or what is the intention? Why are you going around the country?
Whenever you see me anywhere, whenever you see me in any part of Kenya and outside Kenya, in the diaspora, it is Kenyans who are actually inviting me to go and address them. Recently, I was in Busia. I was in Busia for 3 days. The people of Busia, different parts of Busia, from Teso, Samia, Marach, Butula, Bohayo, Nambale, they called me. Similarly, that has been happening in Siaya. I've been to Migori. And it's because of the love people have for the Roots Party that makes me move around. I was also in Dallas the other day demonstrating with the GNCs. I was in Toronto. I was in London. And I was waiting to go to Japan. So it's the love
to demonstrate.
Yeah, to join
with
the
Gen Z.
Yes.
In Japan.
Yes.
Tokyo.
Yes.
There was a demonstration in Tokyo.
Yes, but I couldn't go because of logistics, because I was moving from Texas, Dallas, Toronto in Canada. I had to go to London. And it was just too much. Kenyans looking for me, and of course I was supporting the cause. Yes.
What do you make of the president's visit to Nyanza today?
Well, I don't control Ruto's diary, and I don't really know that he visited. Because I'm no longer.
The president is in Nyanza.
I have no idea.
I'm telling you the president is in Nyanza.
I don't read news since after elections. I'm not really interested to know where Ruto is.
I'm telling you he's in Nyanza.
Oh, he is?
He is in Nyanza. Okay. What do you make of his visit? And he's doing the 4 counties.
I really don't care. I don't give a damn.
Why? He is your president.
He's the president of this country. He's obligated to go wherever he wants to go. He has already been going. He has always been going. So it's really a big deal that Wajackoya should be sitting down
and thinking about where
Ruto is. No, hell no. No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah. You're not going to think about what the president does?
Let him do his work. I'm doing my work because he's my biggest competitor in the next elections. So let him do his
The more reason you should keep abreast with what your biggest competitor is doing.
Well, I already know that we have President Ruto. I respect him. He's the president of the Republic of Kenya. I have no qualms on that. He defeated me in the elections. There was questions, under questionable circumstances. And trust me, next election is my biggest competitor in this country.
He is the biggest competitor?
Yes.
Where do you get that confidence that he's the biggest competitor?
Yeah, because I ran with him. I ran with him. I was
and he's
number
the president.
3. I was number 3 with 2.8 million votes, which they all stole. And I didn't care about petitioning because it was a test. They had all the mighty powers. I only had God and a stick.
And
maybe
money.
Not money from where? My Ganja community.
Yes, it's a big community.
Well,
probably the 2.8.
Yeah, 2.8 million voters. And they stole. Both of them stole this way, this way, this way. But I was number 3.
They say there's about 28 million suppressed voters. That is 10%, 2.8. Are these the guys who voted for you?
Well, those who voted for me at that particular time were those who liked what I was saying. But those who will vote for me now, next election, they are understanding me now. Because initially I was just like an amphibian, somebody without direction. I was just with my durag, my shoes. Today at least I'm wearing
You're wearing a suit
because I came to see you.
Because you knew I'd wear a suit.
Yeah, but surely this is none of my business.
No, you look good.
Thank you.
You look good.
And this suit
so who are these 2 people who stole the 2.8 million votes?
My contenders. There were 4.
Mention them.
Were 4.
The 4, it was spread across. But you're number 3?
Yeah, I was number 3. So the 4 of them helped themselves because they had the machinery, they had the money, they had whatever. I didn't even have an agent and I didn't care. But this time, my friend, you steal from me. And those who stole from me, if they will live for a very long time, they may not see the sun because you don't steal from me. Nobody steals from ganja.
What do you mean they will not?
Nobody steals from a ganja man.
Why?
Because we are holy and we are honest.
Ganja people are holy and honest. Yeah. Would you join President Ruto's government?
I refused to join recently.
Wait, you had an offer?
Yes.
What was the offer?
I'm not going to details.
But why are you not just speaking about it?
Why would I
You're
join?
An honest man.
Why would I join Ruto when I'm fighting to take over from him so that I can make this country better? Why should I join him? For what? Has he ever called me one day, apart from recently when some people are trying to come to me? Has he ever recognized me? Apart from the handshake we had before the announcement of the results at Nini, has he even looked at me as a human being? Am I really human to Ruto? Does he really care about me? So I also don't care about him. Sorry.
He's your president.
He's a president. I am the opposition also. I am the leader of Roots Party. My friend, hakuna peremende ya kungangana nayo hapa. Mimi ndio leader ya Roots Party. Yeye ni leader wa UDA. Whatever he does in UDA, Kenya Kwanza, UDA, namna hiyo. Mimi ni Roots Party. I am the president of Roots Party.
And your rooted family there?
Yes.
What was the job about? What did they want to give you?
Well, I didn't even want to know.
You didn't want to listen
because
to me?
If you don't want to listen to me, sit down with me and find out how I think about the future of this country. Whether we can incorporate ideas that we have. Whether we can go out there to the young people who have been fighting. And now I can see other leaders now fighting. Oh, we are fighting for Gen Z, fighting for Gen Z. But ask them when they were ministers, did they really care about these young men? Did they really care about nominating some of them? If you look at the county assemblies and look at the young girls who are in county assemblies, na makucha mrefu, at Mama Mboga Nini, this country stinks. And it stinks of the so-called leaders who are now crying now, sisi tuko na Gen Z. Gen Z, if you are watching, be very careful with these fellows. What you've done is so good. I'm not going to ask myself to impose myself on you. But what you have done, I will support you, keep on supporting you, will be with you, daytime, nighttime. I've been with you in Canada, I've been with you in Dallas. Lakini wachaneni ukora ingine watu wengine wamejitokea we are the leaders, we are with the Gen Z. Gen Z, hey.
You almost said it.
Oh,
no. I knew you were going to say it.
But I wanted to say it.
You know, nowadays I fear you.
No, I don't say those things.
Oh, you don't say them anymore?
Yeah.
Are you repackaging yourself?
I've already repackaged myself. And right now, it's Roots. Before I came, I was speaking to Governor Natembeya, a man that I respect and a future leader of this country. Let me put it in short. And he told me, Professor, what you are doing, we are seeing. Even if you are from other parties, thank you, go and speak. That is Natembeya.
You're thinking of
James
DAPK.
Orengo.
You're thinking of DAPK.
No, I was thinking of Natembe as the governor of Trans Nzoia.
As an individual?
As an individual.
Not as a party?
I don't speak about DAP. I speak about Roots Party. I don't speak about ODM. I speak about Roots Party.
I'm going to talk about the Gen Zs after the break, but I want to know, what do you make of Kenyan leaders who perennially don't want to sit where they belong? And here I'm making direct reference to your former friends in the party. Migrating, you resisted a job. Some of them took the job. I mean, one, legally, morally, and socially, where do these leaders lie?
These leaders should be in heaven. If they are not in heaven, they should be in hell. If they are not in hell, they should be in prison. Now, if I was to choose the three, and I was the president, trust me, a lot of them will be in prison. Taken to court, charged, and taken to jail.
With what? Charged with what?
How do
Exercising at
well, yeah, the laws of the country are there. And if let me put it this way. We have some amphibious bodies like ESCs. You find some of these people have been on radar. We read in the newspapers that some of these leaders have been called, they have cases to answer. Then tomorrow they are appointed. And then you never hear about ESCC again. And then they become ministers, and some of them make statements, very reckless and wicked statements. Oh, we didn't know. We were outside, is it Kenya Kwanza?
We were outside.
Now we are inside. It's so sweet. Jesus Christ.
Which leader made that statement?
You go and find out. I'm not here to mention.
But now it's so sweet inside.
Yeah, we are now so sweet. And then they have this whole called homecoming parties, and I'm going to ban that whenever
it was in our editorial tonight, because that's suckers. What is a homecoming party? Kwani, you left home.
At homecoming.
You left home, now we have to welcome you back home.
You call civil servants to donate money for you. Munaenda kucheka hapo sycophantly, like stupid fools. And then you are like, hey, really? Kenya is rotting to the core. Munaenda kukula nyama nini na mnapewa bus fare. Those are the kind of leaders we want. And when Gen Zs are fighting these people, you suppress them. No. That's why I refuse to go to any of those people's homecoming parties. What criminals who have become ministers, who have now become gods, who are now being driven in gasoline cars, now making homecoming parties and saying our region has been blessed. Blessed by Jehovah who? Wanyonyi? Yes, Watongareni.
But they are blessed, they have positions, they are celebrating their position, they are taking the flag back home.
Yeah. The crooked crooks can always celebrate. If you look at some of them are married, they're even marrying mosquitoes, chameleons.
What do you what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You profess to work under moral turpitude. You are a human being who is in this position of leadership. And what people see you of, every Sunday uko kwa church unaenda kufungua mdomo wako kupewa ile mkate na ile inaitwanga nini? Wine. Unaikunya. Siku moja nitaenda kuchukua hiyo kitu nikunywe yote. Alafu unatoka hapo unaenda huko nje. Tutembea na tumsichana, this is my first wife. There's nothing wrong.
With having even 4, 5.
First wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife. Alafu sasa ukienda kwa county assemblies utakuta so many of those ones are there. Na mama mboga wako huko. Alafu you want to tell me that is a sitaenda kwao na sikunyi maji yao na siwaombi chochote. Wajackoya will stand firm on the Gen Z position.
Gen Z position, when we come back from this break, we still have a lot to discuss. He refused to pick a job from President William Ruto's government. Not going to discuss it, but we have a lot to discuss, especially on the state of the country where we are today. And that space that he's occupying, say he's the de facto leader of the opposition. What does that mean, and how does he intend to check the government when we come back?